AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR. We're presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. We're live today for the LSU Parade Grounds for the Team Cate swab event. Man, it's been an awesome day already. Well over 400 people have already come by, done the cheek swab to see if they're a match for Kate Hargett, an 11-year-old with a rare blood cancer who, or I should say a rare form of cancer who desperately needs a match. And so we're hoping that today is the day that we find her donor and help save a life. And Dr. Nakhle Saba of Our Lady of the Lake is good enough to hang out with us here. Specializes in oncologist, specializing in blood cancer and stem cell therapies as well. Dr. Saba, thanks for the time. How are you?
Thanks for having me.
Good. I'm going to lift that a little closer for you. Sorry. It's, it's just remote broadcast things that we're all used to. It's super awkward for everybody else.
No problem.
But can we start with just a little bit of a background on Kate's? It's a genetic mutation she has, but if you can maybe give us like a little background on what she has.
So when we talk about stem cell transplant, basically we're looking at changing the immune system and the stem cells inside the bone that lives in our bone. So we are born with 100% cellularity and we lose 1% per year. There are different conditions, including Kate's condition, that require changing those stem cells, and we do it through a stem cell transplant where we are in need of a donor to give those stem cells to be changed. And that is changed through the process of a stem cell transplant where we give some form of chemotherapy to weaken the stem cells that are in the bone. And then we use the stem cells donor to replace that immune system and those stem cells so they can function appropriately after that.
So am I oversimplifying it? Say we talk about Kate needing a bone marrow transplant. What she is in need of are stem cells?
Yes. When we say bone marrow transplant and stem cell transplant are the same thing.
Okay.
And the reason it's called bone marrow transplant because in the old days we used to always go in the bones of the donor to take those stem cells. Now we don't necessarily have to do that. So some conditions would require to go through the bone of the donor, but most of the cases we can do them from the blood. So we can mobilize those stem cells from the bones to go to the blood with a medicine, and then we can catch them in the blood. So the whole process is done in the blood. And the transplant itself is done through the blood. So the cells are infused in a large vein, and they find their way back to the bones.
As we've talked about Kate's condition and, talking to her parents, they've had, I believe, some 3,000 people who have gotten swabbed, and they've still yet to find a match. Obviously, just a very novice point of view, but I would think, man, 3,000 people, surely you can find someone who's a match for what she needs. Why is it so difficult?
It is so difficult, especially in the South here, and I'll explain it. Finding a match is somewhat like winning the lottery. But with NMDP, and that's the National Marrow Donor Program, it's a global entity that register everyone who would like to become a donor. And here I'd like to take a step back and just explain a little bit why this is so important and why it's not really going to affect the donor himself. So when we talk about kidney donation, you're losing a kidney, right? If you're alive. But when you talk about stem cell donation or bone marrow donation, you're not losing anything. It's technically like a blood donation if you want. That's an organ that you donate but you keep at the same time. So you're not really losing anything. You might go through some pains and the blood donation sort of pain, the line placement, etc. But you're keeping everything because the bone marrow will regenerate itself. So that's a nice part about it. So what we have done at the Louisiana Oncology Society and the Cancer Advocacy Group of Louisiana, CAGLA, we have passed a law here in Louisiana that would actually put the NMDP registry on your driver license. So if you go to the LA wallet in the menu on the lower right and click on it, you will see the link to become a donor.
If I'm already an organ donor, am I
No, that would not automatically put you there.
Okay.
So you have to register there, and then MDP, just a few clicks, and they will send you the swab to your home. You will swab yourself, your mouth, and it's very quick, and then you'll ship it back, and you're in. And they will contact you, obviously, if you're a match for anyone in the whole world. So we have transplanted patients from, using donors from all over the world, from Japan, from Brazil, from Turkey, from Germany, from here in the United States, obviously. So this global entity will help finding the donor and process and ship the cells. We are about to become an NMDP center at Our Lady of the Lake, so we can receive those donors and get them. But speaking of unrelated donors, such as Cates, and when we look at the Caucasian population, you get about 75% finding a donor, but when you go to the African American, that drops to 25%.
Why is that?
Because there are not many donors, from the African American race or the black race in the NMDP, and it gets more complicated when you go to the South because we have the Cajun population, and the Cajun is an interracial genetic diversity that is a combination of the French, the Spanish, the West African, and the Native American, right? So that's a mixed DNA. That's going to be very hard to find, and this is where we truly encourage everyone in the South in our Delta area to register to an MDP, because it's harder to find, even for our Caucasians, they're harder to find a donor compared to the rest of the country.
So is a donor more like so? If there's a black male, is a donor likely to be another black person?
Not necessarily, but obviously, if we're talking about the race, you're more likely to be black than others.
Understood. Okay.
Yes.
I mean, look, the human genome is an amazing thing, and a lot of people know my family story. My son has a genetic disorder that manifested a lot of physical and cognitive malformities when he was a baby. Been through a lot, over his 11 years. So, to see Cate, who's 11, and going through something. Everyone has their own path, but I think everybody's been touched in some way by something, and so I think that's why you see how many people have come out today. I mean, it's remarkable, all the people that are trying their best to give and to find a way to help Cate and her family. So is this the best thing for people to do is to just get swabbed and to register to be a donor?
It's very easy. Even if they don't want to come here, go to your LA wallet or to the NMDP website, just click register, and they will ship it to your home. You will ship it back, and you're done. And this way you can become a donor, not only for Cate, but for anyone who is in need and does not have a donor at this time. So I do encourage everyone. So if you go to the menu.
So I'm on LA wallet right now. Go to menu.
And then it's right here.
There it is. So it's
NMDP registry. Click on it.
NMDP,
click to the website.
This is literally 2 clicks and then join registry at the top.
And then it will guide you through it. Very simple. And you got the kit to your home.
And I know, so here, it's interesting. So they're asking for the age, because one of the things that we've talked about for Cate is 18 to 35 is that range. But this says for folks under 18 or for 36 and above. So I'm 43.
Probably won't be in there, because the stem cells weaken. The more we age, the stem cells will weaken, and the engraftment will become less. So it's preferable to be younger than 35, and this is a perfect location here for the LSU campus to do it.
Why not even young? Because I know from stem cells, a lot of times stem cells are maybe extracted from like amniotic fluid, or there's certainly embryonic stem cells. There's a lot of different ways that we can extract stem cells, not just stem cells from our fat or whatever it may be. So why wouldn't that be an option?
Those are called cord blood transplant. The amount of stem cells in the cord blood is usually smaller than what you need for an adult.
Okay.
Sometimes we do dual blood cord, but now because of how things evolve, we don't do too much cord blood, because that placenta is not always available. If you donate it, it will be but it has to be stored, and it costs money to keep it, as opposed to living donor, where this is the donor, now we can collect and process immediately. With the availability of haplotransplant, where you have 50% match, we still can do it. Not many cord blood are being used. So what we do, the younger the better. Although sometimes if we don't have anyone else, we go for a little older person to do if we don't have any other option. But we always prefer a young person. The younger, the better. We prefer a gender match. We prefer infection list. We have some viruses that we carry. We prefer that they match as well. Blood match is preferred, but it's not mandatory because we're changing the whole stem cell, so the blood type will change. But we do male to female. We do different ages. We do different blood tests, blood type. As far as the HLA matches, that's the most important part.
Dr. Saba, this has been really enlightening, and I hope, the more, I know we're here, obviously, with Cate at the center of why we're here, but I think the other thing that hopefully comes of this, in addition to finding Cate's match, is we're going to increase this donor registry.
Oh, 100%.
And help who knows how many other people who we're not even thinking of today but may need this match somewhere down the line.
You're absolutely. I truly hope we find Cate a match. If this message, people who hear it, please go to increase the awareness about the need of our specific, unique population in the South.
Dr. Saba with Our Lady of the Lake, oncologist, blood cancers and stem cells. It's enlightening, and we're happy to be here to hopefully help save untold numbers of lives in the future. So I'm glad. I mean, I'm an organ donor. I didn't know about NMDP. Well, I do now, and so I'm gonna go over there and swab, and they can take, because you can be older, right? It's just maybe not for Cate's match, but there are
probably.
I think it said maybe through 51 years old. Maybe they said they could take.
That age continue to go down. So above 45, you might not be able to do it in there.
I'm 43. I got 2 more years to help people.
35.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure. It's After Further Review. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. We are going to head up to Pittsburgh for a check-in with Josh Edwards, CBS NFL draft analyst. Excited to have this convo as we'll get the absolute latest as we're inching closer to round 1 of the NFL draft. So stay with us here on AFR.
AFR.
Rev Fiber, REV. RevFiber.com, RevFiber.com, RevFiber.com. You need fiber to get things moving fast. Like internet. That's why you need Rev Fiber. REV, RevFiber.com, RevFiber.com. Our friends over at Rev, they do great work. They're a local company with a local footprint for 90 years over at Rev. So you want a great local company with a local call center and local tech support and local help and local people with an all-fiber network and lightning fast speeds. You want Rev, R-E-V, Rev Fiber, for your home or for your business. Remember, it's both. At our house, they just laid fiber in our neighborhood. We switched to Rev Fiber, and you should as well for your home or for your business. Save money, have a better customer service experience, have a better product. It's Rev Fiber, R-E-V, RevFiber.com.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at DecisionCriticalVR.com.
Less than 3 hours away from the start of the NFL draft. Excited for it. Saints will be on the clock at number 8. Josh Edwards is in Pittsburgh, CBS NFL draft analyst, good enough to join us on a just crazy busy day for him. Josh, we appreciate it. Thanks for the time, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Like you said, we're just a couple hours out now. So many rumors are flying, so I'm kind of curious to see if any of these rumored trades at the top take place, but I think it's going to be an exciting night overall.
You've done this long enough to know there's always there's always rumors, and it's tough to tell what's real and what might just be a smokescreen. What is piquing your interest the most?
Well, I mean, it seems like everybody in the top 6 is trying to trade back, and we've heard a lot of teams may have more interest in trading up than we originally thought. I think Arizona is trying to get out of number 3. I think Cleveland's trying to get out of number 6. There's some talk that maybe the Titans could move back as well. So could be a lot of action there in the top 10 overall. And I look at a team like the Cowboys sitting there at number 12 overall as potentially one of the teams that is most motivated to trade up. But we've also seen some scenarios where locally your Saints have been involved in some trade rumors as well. So, I think everybody's just guessing at this point. but there's certainly a lot of smoke right now.
How does, Josh, in covering the draft, obviously where there's smoke, those rumors start for a reason. How do you sort of gauge what you believe is rooted in some bit of reality?
Yeah, everything comes from an agenda, right? And in some cases, it could be true. There may be interest in moving up. There could also be, kind of a nefarious reason where a team may want to put out there that they're interested for moving up for a specific player, but they're not actually interested because they want to push the actual player that they're interested in farther down the board. So, there's a reason behind everything that comes out at this point in time. And you really just have to use your gut and, conventional reasoning to try to sort through it all, because nobody's going to have all the answers. I mean, there's insiders that are plugged in and have sources around the league, but those same sources have agendas that they're trying to push. So, I mean, I think you have to take everything with a grain of salt. And at the end of the day, just kind of lean on what you truly believe in your own heart.
Josh Edwards is our guest at Edwards CBS, if you want to give him a follow, draft analyst. A couple of the high points I'd like to touch on, especially as relevant to our local audience. Jordan Tyson right now is the betting favorite to be the Saints pick at number 8. What can you tell us about teams and their comfort level with Tyson and his injury history?
It seems like Tyson has been the betting favorite for multiple teams here over the past 24 hours, and I think that just speaks to the type of talent that he is. Throughout this process, he's been wide receiver 1 for me, pending the medicals, because he's just incredibly dynamic with the ball in his hands. He's somebody that can make plays for you in space. So I've always kind of favored that as being my wide receiver 1 in this draft class. But when you speak to the medicals, it's not just this past year. It's, the injuries that he has accrued over the course of his collegiate career at multiple locations. And there's nothing that's debilitating or like long-term concerns, but I think you have to be comfortable with the fact that, he may just miss a couple of games here and there. That may just be the reality with what you're going to get from him as a pro. So I think it varies team by team. Some are going to be more risk averse, whereas others, they look at the player, they see the vision, they need an impact player, and they're more comfortable taking that in the top 10 overall.
How much of a gap is there between Tyson and Carnell Tate in your mind?
I think it's pretty close. They're touching on the prospect rankings, I believe. So it's not a big discrepancy whatsoever. And I think Tate, his whole game is his route running, the way that he's able to create separation at the route stem. He's just a little bit more, reliable on a down-to-down basis. So I can understand a team that, they need a double in the gap. They're not necessarily looking to hit the home run, but they need somebody that they feel comfortable is going to produce for them one way or another. And I think that's where Carnell Tate kind of comes into the picture. He may never be that dominant X-type receiver for you, but you know what you're getting when you add him to your offense. So, again, I think team by team, they're going to approach the wide receiver differently, but those are certainly the top 2 when you speak to people around the league.
There's 2 more prospects I'd like to ask about that have kind of been linked to New Orleans. One is Ruben Bain. Where do you fall on the questions about Bain's? The productivity is there, right? But it's the questions about his size, his arm length, all that sort of stuff. The same convos people had about Will Campbell a year ago. Where do you fall there, Josh?
So I'm a little bit lower on him, but he's still top 15 overall for me. So I still really like the player. I just believe that guardrails are in place for a reason. You typically don't want a team full of outliers. If he's your only outlier and you have a vision for him within your defensive scheme, which is kind of part of this conversation, in that I'm not picking a player for a defensive scheme. I'm just looking at them, kind of surface level and my personal preferences. And he's, a power rusher. He's somebody that's going to be able to set the edge for you on defense, but I just historically think that arm length is incredibly important, and you can't stray from historical data too much, in my opinion. So I would still be considering him there, certainly in the top half of the first round, potentially in the top 10 overall. But I'm not somebody that's in the camp of saying this is, one of the 3 best players in this draft class. I think he's more of a supplement to the pass rush that you already have, which in the case of New Orleans, you've already got a pretty accomplished pass rusher on the other side with Chase Young. So I think a situation like that is probably the ideal outcome for a player like Bain.
Quick follow-up then. You mentioned at the start about the Saints, who are, with Mickey Loomis, always rumored to be interested in trading up. What about the possibility of New Orleans moving up to 3 to take either Bailey or Reese if clearly one of them would be there at 3?
Yeah, I think a lot of people believe that Arizona has some teams that they're speaking to that they could potentially trade down with. And I think the team that could move up is kind of a mystery. So people are looking for natural associations for the players that would rumored to be available in that range. And I don't think a lot of teams are looking to trade up for a running back like Jeremiah Love. I don't think that that's the case. However, I do think that whichever edge rusher does not go number 2 overall could be in the crosshairs of a team possibly looking to move up to number 3 overall. So then you take a step back and you say which teams here in the top 12 picks may be targeting an edge rusher. And I think that's where you're talking about Dallas. You're talking about the Saints. For a specific skill set, I think you could include the Chiefs. So there's a number of teams that I think fit into that conversation. And I think one of those edge rushers would ultimately be the target for whoever moves up.
He's Josh Edwards, CBS draft analyst at Edwards CBS. The other player I wanted to mention, we'll wrap here because I know you're super busy, but I did want to get a thought on Mansour Delane, who obviously we're sitting here on LSU's campus, but also this is a guy at a position of need for the Saints and in theory should be on the board when the Saints pick and they could take the best cornerback in the draft. What would you think about Delane potentially to New Orleans at 8?
Yeah, he's a really solid, reliable, accountable player. You feel pretty good about putting him in your defense and him contributing right away. He's got a high IQ when it comes to the cornerback position. He's got a great understanding of route patterns. He breaks hard on the football, somebody that's really comfortable playing in space. And I think in today's NFL, you have to be comfortable doing so. I've always thought that a Jermod McCoy from Tennessee has a higher upside as being this man coverage cornerback. But, Delane has a very specific skill set where kind of going back to the earlier analogy of hitting doubles and home runs, I think a similar conversation applies to the cornerback position because I think Delane, you kind of know what he's getting. He's been steady throughout his collegiate career. He's somebody that's been on the NFL radar for multiple years, and you can feel confident taking him in the top half of the first round. Whereas McCoy, he's now got these knee injuries, and he could be the home run for you if you were able to stay healthy. But I think the concerns about that knee are very real, and he's I think Delane has cornerback 1 locked up pretty tightly, and where that next cornerback comes off the board, which is not of Delane's concern, is kind of the next question. But I think any team that takes him in the top 12 overall has to feel pretty comfortable about what they're getting, not only as a rookie, but throughout his career.
He is Josh Edwards. It's your Super Bowl, man. The draft is here. Sincerely appreciate a couple of minutes. Thank you so much for the time. Have a great night.
Always a pleasure, man. Thank you.
Yep, that is Josh Edwards. Make sure you're following him at Edwards CBS. It's where he is on Twitter. Obviously, a great time to follow Josh, considering that it's draft night and he'll be a busy guy tonight and this weekend. So we appreciate a couple of minutes there from Josh. Hey, we're here at the LSU parade grounds, as we've been telling you for several weeks, building up to this the Team Cate swab event. We're encouraging you to come out, get a cheek swab. It takes 30 seconds. Join the National Marrow Donor Program database. You can, if you can't make it here, as Dr. Saba just told us a bit ago, you can log onto your LA Wallet app, and there is on the menu an NMDP button where you can tap right there. It'll tell you exactly where they can send you a kit so you can join the donor base. We'd love to find Cate's match today. One of the things I've certainly learned is we're building a donor base to save so many people, but we'll keep the the thing here, and we're excited to be here for the Hargett family and to encourage you to come out. So 18 to 35 years old is the primary age group. So that's why we're obviously on a college campus. So we hope you come by and get swabbed. Hey, we're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Love telling you about Lee Michaels. Y'all, Mother's Day is right around the bend. Man, a great opportunity to get on by Lee Michaels. I think I just got stung by a bee. That's a first. I definitely just got stung by a bee on my leg. Anyway, Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, Mother's Day's around the bend. Thrill mom with a gift in the red box for all the reasons that she deserves to be treated like a queen on Mother's Day and every day. For all that mom does for all of us, show her that appreciation with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Okay, we are halfway home on this Thursday edition of AFR, and glad you're hanging out with us. We're going to knock out a break and continue. I know that you probably have seen the story of LSU soccer player Rylie Kuyper, who recently received her own cancer diagnosis. And Riley's here. We're going to chat with her a little bit. And we have tons of draft stuff still to hammer out. I think Jenny and Kate Hargett they're still here, so they're going to hang out with us for a little bit on the show as well. So stay here on a special day and a really potentially impactful day for a lot of people and a lot of families. So we're glad to be here. Okay, let me knock out a quick break. We'll continue. It's AFR.
AFR.
If you're thinking of selling your home, call Darren James, get your home sold. If you got to sell your home, why would you call anyone other than the realtor that literally sells more homes than anyone? Darren James, Wall Street Journal, is listed the top 1% of realtors in America. Think about what I just said. Number 13 in the country. Talking about if you're ranking every realtor in America, there's more than 1 million of them. Darren James, number 13 in America when it comes to the number of homes closed. Why? Because he has created an incredible process. His customer service, the way he treats his clients, the work ethic, the above and beyond, and the processes through every member of his team to find the right buyer and to get your home sold faster for more money. So if you need to sell your home, you need the best, you need Darren James. Agent225.com, agent225.com. That's the website. You could log on right now to agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
We continue on this Thursday edition of AFR presented by Decision Critical. As Blaise often says, not just healthcare, it's healthcare for your lifestyle. Their expertly trained nurses will come in home. They can be with you post-op in the hospital, carry out your doctor's orders. Maybe you need an IV or you need therapeutic phlebotomy, whatever it may be. Decision Critical is there. DecisionCriticalBR.com, DecisionCriticalBR.com. When we have events like this, and it's the opening day of the draft, and LSU had its final spring practice earlier today, but there are life events that supersede sports and gives everyone a great reality check. And this is an awesome idea or an awesome way today to blend all these different realities that we all go through in life. And, we're here for Kate Hargett, 11-year-old, who has a rare type of blood cancer and needs a bone marrow match donor. And someone who reached out to Jenny, Kate's mom, is Rylie Kuyper, is an LSU soccer player who you might have seen her story recently on social media because she had what was probably the oddest but maybe coolest I have cancer post that I've ever seen. Rylie Kuyper, LSU goalkeeper, is here with us on site. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for coming out. I'm not saying that incorrectly, right? I mean, it was you. I don't want to say you celebrated, but you brought levity in the way that you announced your cancer diagnosis. What were you thinking there?
So I drove over to my sister's apartment because she had no idea yet, and I sat her down. I told her my mom had flown in from Tulsa as soon as she found out, and all three of us are sitting there, and I had just learned a TikTok dance with one of my teammates, and so I just like put it on. I was just doing it, and then I saved it to the drafts, and then I had texted everyone, like my family, my close friends, and then obviously I told my teammates, and then I was like, man, like I don't want it to be people whispering and I heard. I want it to come from me. So I put it out, and I have like 80 followers on this account. It was like all my friends. I'm like, well, this is how they're gonna find out, and then it blew up.
Yeah. I mean, I saw it. I think everybody saw it.
It was, I was not expecting that, like, whatsoever.
Is this, well, you're very brave. What are you feeling emotionally?
Honestly, like, I have a really good peace about it. I'm religious, and I think God has really blessed me during this time. Like, I'm kind of like, okay, like what's next? Like I'm going to tackle it and then get back on the field. And I think I had a lot of comments on that video and a lot of questions. So I had made a get ready with me. I love watching girls do makeup and talk. So that's kind of what I did. And I talked about it. And the amount of support that I got was insane, like from comments and DMs of people reaching out being like, I had this is what happened, or I have this, I'm going through this. Like watching this has been great. It's been really inspiring. So.
There's a lot of toxicity on social media. It's also an incredible way that people connect. Mm-hmm. Look at the reason that we're here today. Like you and me and all these people are here because we all saw Cate's story on social media.
Right.
And now we are all coming together and we are going to literally save people's lives by finding donors because of social media. And
literally,
all this
yeah.
spread.
So and you have college students that are willing to do it. I think that speaks a lot, yeah.
Rylie, I think college kids and young people get crapped on way too much by losers my age and older. Like, the kids. I'm like, yeah, because the kids are smarter than all of us and know how to use AI, and they're going to, like, make the world better in so many ways. Stop crapping on young people. They're like, the world's fine, okay? Anyway, so let's talk about how you got connected here. So, you're obviously going through your own challenge, and then how did this come to your awareness?
Yeah, so, I knew about the blood drive, but Cate's mom DM'd me on Instagram, and she's like, hey, I don't know if you know me, like, I'm Cate's mom, like, I'm just praying for you. Like, literally said nothing about her own, like, daughter and, like, her story and everything, and I was just like, there's no way that this lady's just going out of her way with her own problems to, like, check on me, like, lymphoma is very curable, which I'm very blessed to, like, have cancer. Yes, it sucks, but lymphoma is very curable, and I'm very grateful for that. So the situation's different, but I just reached back out and I was just like, hey, thank you so much. I've been praying for y'all as well. Is there anything that I can do for this? And she was like, just tell as many people as you can. So obviously I told my team, I've been texting other people like, please come out. And yeah.
So your team came out.
Yes, they did.
You got your cheering section over there.
Yes.
What, look, Rylie, some woos. I thought we'd get like a 2 bits for like some organized cheers, nothing like that.
Yeah, maybe
a bit later.
Yeah, they got to practice. So.
What does it mean for you having friends and your teammates there for you too?
So I'm a transfer. So I transferred in this past January. So to have girls that have known me for 4 months, be as supportive and just be by my side as much as they have, and I have no words. Like, they have genuinely been such great people and like friends to me. So. Yeah, it means a lot. What's
it been like for you? Obviously your life just got thrown a giant curveball, but just being at LSU, what's it been like?
Oh, such a family. So I'm actually from the North Shore, so I grew up an LSU fan.
Nice.
Even whenever I was at Texas Tech, like different conferences, so I can still root for LSU. But
football Saturdays, it's purple and gold on. No, we've all been there. Everybody's been there.
So, but yeah, like to have like the amount of community, like especially online, like seeing like Tiger Family got you, and it's been really incredible.
What do you need for people that are listening? What do you need as you go through your own personal battle and journey?
Just prayers. I think that just pray. I think I'm trying to do on social media is just show my situation as honest as I can. My oncologist here originally said that I was going to be doing 6 months of treatment and that would cause hair loss. And I posted a very vulnerable video online of me being upset about losing my hair. And the response from social media was incredible about how everyone was like, it's not shallow of you to cry, like everything like that. But I recently got a better diagnosis that I can do a different treatment that won't cause hair loss. So now I think I have people sending me wigs. So I think I'm going to do like a wig away.
Oh, cool.
And like give wigs.
Yeah, sure,
yes.
give it, yeah.
So I think, just like support there that way, so like I can just give back to what's been given like to me.
Yeah,
so.
That is really cool. We're this has been such a great day already. And obviously you're here as we're helping support the Hargets and Team Cate and everybody. I know the swab drive today is ending at 5, so there's 19 more minutes as they're kind of starting to close down. But they are going to be back tomorrow here, same spot. And again, we keep telling people you can go online. Team Cate's got a website, or the NMDP website where you can get your swab kit sent to you. So what's your treatment like? What's next for you?
Yeah, so I actually start treatment next week. Okay. So chemo and radiation can cause infertility. So I've been going through some fertility things. So I have an egg retrieval next Tuesday. And then on Thursday, I will go into surgery, get a port put in, and then immediately there I'll get rolled out and go into infusion. So that'll be my first round of chemo. I'll do 4 months of treatment and then a little bit of radiation after. I'm doing Nevo AVD. So yeah, I think, and then obviously the radiation, but I think it's going to be good. It's newer. It's about 1 to 2 years old. So.
Okay. You'll be here in Baton Rouge, or will you be home?
Yeah, I'll be doing my infusions here in Baton Rouge, and then I'm going to drive about an hour to home just to spend a couple days because I know you feel a little bit sick in the beginning. And then I'll be doing my radiation in Houston with MD Anderson.
Okay. Well, we'll certainly keep you in our prayers, and everybody can follow your. Tell us your, because Rylie is RYLIE. If you want to follow your Instagram, Kuyper's KUYPER.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes,
so
sir.
if you want to follow Rylie on Instagram, follow her journey, send her some support and well wishes. You can do that as well. And then back on the pitch soon enough.
Yeah, hopefully I'll have my treatment done end of August, and then I'll get my radiation done, and then I just want to be with my teammates and help on the field. I redshirted at Tech, but at the end of the day, being an athlete and being in that environment, you just know how much it means to play and practice with those girls.
Well, we'll certainly be praying for you as well. So thank you for making the time today and for sharing your story. I know it's going to be uplifting for a lot of people.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
It's our pleasure. It's Rylie Kuyper, LSU goalkeeper, who going through her own journey, but taking time to be here for Team Cate as well. So we're glad to be here. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back and wrap up hour number 2 next.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Supper Club, supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. Hey, I've been telling you about it. If you haven't seen it yet, go to the Supper Club Instagram, because Chef Layton, they posted the video that I've been telling you about. It's literally Chef Layton getting the box of the authentic Japanese Kobe beef and unboxing it. You could see the slabs. You could see that purple chrysanthemum on the end. I mean, this is actual authentic Kobe beef from Japan. Since Supper Club has been opened, I think they've gotten this twice, and when it's gone, and who knows when they're going to get it again. So if you love steak, if you love beef, if you love just trying something rare, get by Supper Club. I'm telling you, this is going to last. I think Chef Layton told me they got it in, it was a week ago today when he called me, so it's been there a week. I mean, we're just starting to tell people about it, but week and a half, 2 weeks max, so you better get your reservation, get on into Supper Club, and try this Kobe beef. supperclubbtr.com.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
All right, we are wrapping up hour number 2. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. After the top of the hour, we'll get to Sports Center here in just a smidge. After the top of the hour, we'll circle back, and I'll get you my LSU spring football practice report from today out on the Ponderosa. It's been that jam-packed of a show. We still haven't even gotten to that yet, so we're excited to get to what we saw on the 14th day of spring practice for LSU football, which was the final media availability for LSU spring football. So we'll get to that here in just a little bit after the top of the hour. All right, right now, though, Muso, Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
It started with a pair of Cubs-Phillies games, one from last night and then one from getaway day here on Thursday. Alex Bregman on Wednesday night, big day at the plate, 3 for 5. All 3 of those, 2 of the 3 were singles. The other, his first triple of the year. Come around to score as well in the game. Got his average up to 263. You go forward to today out at the ballpark in Wrigley. Cubs took it in 10 innings. Bregman 1 for 5 in the game. That one was a single as well. So over the course of the last 2 days, 4 hits, 3 singles, and a triple for Bregman as he is pretty much fully broken out of that early season slump. Alex Lang was back on the mound for the Royals on Wednesday night facing the Orioles. Had a rough outing, game number 1 of the series. Bounced back strong here in game number 3. Lang with a shutout inning. He was perfect, as a matter of fact. No walks, no hits, no runs, and 1 punch out needed after the rough go of it a few days ago. Jaden Hill continues his stellar start to the season for the Colorado Rockies. Got his 4th hold of the year. Was first out of the bullpen for Colorado on Wednesday night. Pitched an inning and a third. Surrendered a hit and a run, but punched out 3. The hit was a homer. The ERA is sparkling 1.80 as we cruise through the first month of the Major League season. To minor league baseball for a couple of updates. Tommy White is absolutely cruising here in Double-A. Got the DH start for the Midland Rockhounds on Wednesday. Went 2 for 4. Both of those a single. He did come around to score and walked in the ballgame. It is a .338 average for the former Tiger third baseman here early in the minor league season. Maybe this is the year that Tommy White makes it up to the pros. He can play for the Sacramento A's if that is the case. And how about Fidel Ulloa? Fidel Ulloa gets his first win of the season on Wednesday night for the Hartford Yard Goats. Got it in relief, inning in 2/3, just the 1 run, didn't walk anybody, and punched out 1. Did surrender 3 hits, but limited the damage, and again picked up the win for his team. Naz Reid and the Minnesota Timberwolves, they will be in action tonight in the NBA playoffs, game number 3 of that series. That's Tigers and the Pros.
Presented by First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. So many different reasons to buy land. Maybe it's that maybe it's agriculture. You need 1,000 acres of farmland. First South Farm Credit can help. Maybe you want to live on the North Shore, commute, work in New Orleans. First South Farm Credit can help. Maybe you want the 100 acres in St. Francisville to build your family's dream home. First South Farm Credit can help. Maybe you want the hunting property in Mississippi or in Texas, just that getaway property, your own little escape, your retreat. First South Farm Credit can help. They can help you buy land anywhere in the lower 48. All you have to do is make First South Farm Credit your first call. So log on to firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com. All right, y'all, it's after further review, and we're glad you're hanging out with us here. Remember, you can always email the show in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. One thing I wanted to make sure that we got to is Greg Sankey spoke with Ross Dellinger over at Yahoo. So credit Delly for passing along this audio from the interview he did. There was and this was at the CFP spring meetings. So there have been stories in the past 5 days or so, in the past week, effectively suggesting the presidents and head coaches are sort of leaning toward a 2014 playoff. Well, remember, that's been the sticking point, is Greg Sankey's wanted 16. Tony Petitti and the Big Ten have wanted to go to 24. That impasse is why we're still at 12. Well, here was Sankey talking to Ross Dellinger about his stance on 16 or 24.
Where's your position on 16 or 24 or staying at 12?
I indicated that previously.
You have.
So we go back to the archives and find it, yeah?
Yeah.
Why would I come out here and give a position? I say that in the spirit of friendliness. I mean, other people can do that if they choose. There's plenty of anonymous sources, but I'll, as I have done repeatedly, reserve my comments for the places where it's a benefit.
The one thing that Greg Sankey said there that it set my antenna up was him saying anonymous sources, because you had all the coaches quoted in Chris Lowe's piece that we went through yesterday. That's not anonymous sources. Those are coaches on the record effectively saying, yes, they would favor expansion to 24. So that's not an anonymous source. Those are coaches like Kirby Smart and Josh Heupel speaking on the record about their, I don't want to say insistence, but willingness to go to 24. One more quickly. Here was Greg Sankey on the future of the SEC championship game, which we've talked a lot about.
We have that.
Are you going to continue?
That is a question that presumes an answer. I will not provide you the answer you presume. So we have contracts and opinions are expressed, but we have contracts that are dealt with. So we have a championship game.
Are you willing to consider not having a championship?
That's not for me to share with you.
He is a little ornery. Yeah, I think my read on that and knowing Commissioner Sankey just a little bit over the years, he is not used to losing and not getting his way, and I think the tide is turning on the 16-24 debate, and it is not going to go his way. Just my suggestion. Hour 3 next.
AFR.
We're brought to you by our friends over at Parish Restoration. ParishRestoration.com, ParishRestoration.com. Tell you every day, kill mold, remove odor, other harmful pathogens. It's easy. They'll come by. They'll spray their patented non-toxic dry fog over at Parish Restoration. And just like that, after the fog dissipates, boom, clean, sanitized, fresh-smelling home or office building. It's Parish Restoration. Log on to ParishRestoration.com. Fill out the form on the homepage. Jim Woodworth and his team, they'll be in touch with you and let you know how they can get you started on that process to getting rid of that toxic mold in your home, your office building, church, school, gym facility. Maybe you have odor from sweat or pet, smoke, whatever it is. Parish Restoration can help. ParishRestoration.com.